Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we.
Knicks family, what's popping? I didn't know what else to say, so it just came out that way. Tony, what's good with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Glad to be back on the Losers Lounge, Throw my L's up.
Yes, sir. Glad to be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Losers Lounge. We just got finished doing the post-game show. The Knicks took care of the Washington Wizards tonight. They took care of the Chicago Bulls last night. And we're going to talk about both of them, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Just quickly, though, Tony, what you think about the performance tonight?
Well, we didn't start the game great. These young guys came in fighting, trying to get collection of wins that are going to be hard for them this year. Play with energy, and it took us a little time to get our footing. But we got the win, they got the L, and here we are.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying? And we got some learning to do, but we're gonna figure it out as a team. You know what I mean? I feel positive about it. And right now we're going in the opposite direction as the Washington Wizards. Total opposite direction. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately at that too. You know what I mean? Like I said, unfortunately at that, because I was hoping they would be a little bit more competitive this year and give us a chance to get that draft pick.
I mean, they right. I mean, they are young. They have some talent. They just rebuilding, man. A straight up rebuild. Now just a straight up rebuild for them. You know what I'm saying? And I think if they do it right, though, I think they got enough talent to be competitive in a couple of years. I mean, look at OKC. OKC didn't. I think someone in the last show said OKC tanked. I don't know if they fully tanked. You know what I'm saying? But they started off with young players, and now they're still a young team and won a championship with a young team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would argue that they didn't tank at all. They traded their veterans, right? They traded Chris Paul. They got Shai Gilgeous. They brought CP3 in to play alongside him and kind of guide him and teach him how to win. And they made the play. They was a playoff team. You know what I mean? And when it was time to move on from Chris Paul, they didn't say, all right, we're taking a step back. They continue to grow. They continue to be a playoff team.
Right. So hopefully they're going in the right in the same direction. You know what I mean? I can tell you what, as you know, because you pulled these down, fans are not happy with having CJ McCollum there, right? They say CJ McCollum might be worse than Jordan Poole. I don't know, but I mean, I think this with CJ McCollum, he's still a good player. I think it's just knowing the situation. He's probably like, you know what? I know they want me here just to teach. I don't have a future here. I'm just gonna, if it means I gotta play out my contract, I'll play out my contract, but I'm not going to. I'll be the mentor. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be happy doing that. I think it might be something like that with CJ McCollum.
100%.
You know what I mean? and you know he's not gonna do anything to hurt himself. You know, what do you think?
I'll say this: Jordan Poole probably has more potential. Jordan Poole probably has more years left in the NBA than McCollum, but McCollum is a true professional,
Yeah,
right? He's a guy that is gonna play his role, whether it's a starter, whether it's a bench guy, whether it's a mentor. You know what I mean? Like whatever the team asks of him, he's gonna do. And to me, when you got a young team like that, a guy like McCollum is actually more valuable to those players around him than Jordan Poole.
yeah. Nah, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying? And years from now, some of these players are gonna be like, yeah, my vet was CJ McCollum, and you know, he taught me this, that, and this and that, right? You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna look at him as that mentor.
And some of the things they may have learned from Jordan Poole may not have been the things that they're gonna glorify down years later.
Right.
Because Jordan Poole's still learning. He got a chip, but he's still learning how to be a professional, a pro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think about their young talent though?
Um, well, George was a guy that we was talking about in that draft, remember?
Right.
Keyshawn George.
Keyshawn George. Yup.
So even then though, I would have never considered him. I think he's even better than I thought he was in that draft. You know what I mean? Like, and his future's even brighter than I thought. I would have never thought he was like, shout out to Kev, a cornerstone piece. You know what I mean? I thought he would have been just like a nice addition. That kid got talent, and with the opportunity he's getting, you know, it might expedite or speed up his growth. Along with CJ, it might speed up his growth.
Right. Right.
Who else is there? I like to do, I call him Bilal. I don't know if that's how you say it, but
Yeah,
he's
cool about it.
he's another guy. I think you was high on him in his draft class as well. Um, and he's you know, growing into a nice, decent player as well.
Yeah, yeah. Koulibaly, who's the first round pick, what, 2 years ago?
2 or 3.
Yeah, he's good for them. He's gonna be I'm not saying he's gonna be a star or nothing, but you know, he's gonna be a strong player for them for years to come, I think. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely good for them. As a matter of
What
fact, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna add, what I like about those two guys in particular is they started their NBA careers with a defensive mentality, right? So, you know, as they continue to grow, as they continue to get better, that's not going to be something you got to push for or teach them once they start having their own tendencies.
Right.
Both those guys are defenders. I don't want to say defenders first, but they still hang their hat on it as well as what they bring offensively.
Yeah, yeah. More about CJ McCollum. They say CJ is determined to get us a top 3 pick in the draft lottery. He needs to retire. I mean, at this point in time, isn't that what they want?
And I don't know if his chances are he's hurting you guys in that spot than helping you guys get it.
Right.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Listen, in DC, they need draft picks and trades because nobody's going to DC, right? They need draft. Do you recall a big name ever, a big name free agent going to DC? Chris Webber?
Wasn't a free agent.
He got traded there?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure he did.
You know, when anytime they were good before, you know, when they were the Bullets, that was a long time ago. But anytime they were good, it was because they drafted young players, right? John Wall, Bradley Beal. I just don't recall any big time free agents wanting to go to DC, wanting to go to especially when they became the Wizards.
And look at the turnout. I mean, we've gone to a couple of Knicks games in DC.
Right.
We seen how the stands was. We seen the ticket prices. You know what I mean? We see even for these comments, man. I think I gave you about 7, 8 comments. There might have been 10 comments total in that whole chat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
the engagement is, the fan base is not even out there like that.
right. Right. And the thing is, you know, it's DC. It's a marquee city, and it's the nation's capital, right? It's a marquee city in the country, and I talk about it every year. They should change the name, right? Because like the Wizards, right? You know, their sub nickname is better. When they say the district, that's better than the Wizards. Their G League team has a better name, the Capital City Go-Go.
Mm.
Like it's that's a terrible name.
Well, Go-Go, that's a great name if you from or know about DC.
Right.
If you don't, you probably looking at the Go-Go like, wait, what?
Right.
You
But
need the explanation.
right, but who's going to be fans of them outside of DC anyway?
That's a good. It's hard enough finding them in DC.
You know what I'm saying? So you might as well cater to your fans, and there's enough people there. You know, it's DC. You know what I mean? It's millions of people there. There's enough people there where people will draw to it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I see more people. I see more people with, well, when I was there, I seen more people that had jerseys that say the district on it, right? Than Wizards. You know what I mean? And then the colors are terrible. Teal and brown or whatever. Like,
oh, I was thinking the traditional red, white, and blue.
No, see if they just had red, white, if they had a different name, red, white, and blue. You know what I'm saying? It would fit. Because like, why are they the Wizards? You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really fit. The colors are whack. So it's hard. It's really hard to market them. You know, you got to have a team there because it's DC. So you're gonna have a team there, but it's just really hard to market that team because the colors are terrible. The logo is corny. The name of the team is corny. Like, So and then in DC is not, it's not a party city. You know what I mean? So it just makes it tough to attract free agents and people want to go play for DC. So you know, I don't know what they do.
Gilbert Arenas might have been a free agent signing, but
He
he
was.
wasn't Gilbert Arenas yet.
He wasn't good, but actually, I was watching the documentary. I think he got traded there too.
Did he?
I think he got
Okay.
him and somebody else got traded there because the dude he got traded with, or did they get traded there?
Because I thought he came from Golden State.
Yeah, but I think he got traded to from Golden State. He did come from Golden State. I think he got traded.
Because
He was just on their bench. He wasn't playing at all. And yeah, Ralph Unreal and Sean said Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan signed to the Wizards.
You mean 45?
He wore 45. Paul Pierce signed to the Wizards.
Mm.
But that was like
end of his career. He should have won 45.
Career, you know what I'm saying? That was end of his career, you know. The Cooler said Chocolate City was the old nickname. Maybe they should have incorporated that in their name. That was the old name of the city. The old nickname of the city. Yeah. I don't know if they would have incorporated that because I don't know. I don't know.
They would be like, no, we mean like Hershey chocolate.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. They might not, I don't know. They might not get enough people out. I don't know. Brother man said Bilal has been having a good start to his important third year season. Yeah, we were just talking about Koulibaly, man. He's good. You know what I'm saying? They do have something to build on with Koulibaly there. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Just some dude said truck by 20 plus points a night. Dudes are wide open, lacing threes. I mean, you're dealing with a very young basketball team, so you're going to see all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, when I looked at them, and obviously, we played them last year too, but I don't know. For some reason tonight, when I looked at the team, I was like, damn, these are like, we're playing a bunch of just kids out there. And that's basically what it is.
All long, lanky, and athletic.
Yeah. And they, and just like a young team, they come out and they can play hard, but they can't sustain it. You know what I'm saying? So what are you really gonna do? But besides keep playing them and help them and hope that they learn. And somebody, tell Adam Silver to, talk with them about the name and all that kind of stuff because, they probably got like the last selling jerseys in the league. Nobody buy, in order, they're gonna have to like if they would have looked. Let's say they would have got like a Ja Morant or something like that. Who?
LaMelo.
Right. If they would have got somebody like that, it would have changed things for them, but they didn't. So,
they got to get the kids. They got to get the kids on their side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the kids love LaMelo. They love Ja. You know what I mean? Like the kids, they
gotta get the kids. Gotta get the kids on your side, no doubt. All right, well, let's talk about Chicago. I mean, yeah, Chicago. Right, we beat them in the first night of the back-to-back. after
Mm.
losing to him in Chicago.
In
We
the in-season tournament.
in the in-season tournament game, right? Yeah, but we got a nice win. So let's see what their fans are thinking, what their fans are talking about. First of all, what do you think about Chicago, though?
Great start. You know, off the court stuff aside, I've always liked Josh Giddey's game. And if he's gonna hit the three like he did in the 2 games against us, he's gonna be a problem. You know, at his size, playing the point guard and being able to shoot, adding that to his game,
Right.
he's gonna be you know a problem for some years to come. They also was without Kobe White, right? I think in both those games, who's another guy who's kind of finding his own. I
Mm-hmm.
think they got a nice future. I think they're ahead of schedule right now.
Okay. Okay. Loyalty Pains said the NBA has an agenda. I thought that with the gambling scandal it's going through, the refs would be on a tighter leash. Clearly
Mm.
not. All ticky tack stuff gets called against us and nothing on us. The play of Vooch tonight hasn't helped so far. Plus, the ridiculous 3-point shooting and free throws from the Knicks isn't helping. I don't know what agenda he thinks the NBA has. Obviously, he's probably saying something about the Knicks. Da da da.
So
But
where was that agenda when y'all was 5-0?
right, you know what I'm saying? Right. All of a sudden, you lose a game, and now there's an agenda. Come on.
Sounds like somebody lost his prop bet.
Right. East Blue Juice said the Bulls look like we're seeing them in the playoffs. It's possible, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't. We're gonna have to come with our A game if we see them in the playoffs. Mark Kristen 96 said the streak is over. The start was nice, but now we're back to the same business as usual with Dumboven in charge. Fire Billy Dumboven and start cleaning house. Do you think what the Bulls are doing is sustainable?
I mean, we still got to get 8 in the playoffs, right? So sustainable as in leading the East as far as like in what I mean, top 4 seed or what? No, but sustainable as in finding their spot within the Eastern Conference
Mhm.
and being a playoff team and what I mean, continue to grow. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. They got something nice happening there, and they keep playing that style. Well, the first 20 games, a lot of people say you get teams that aren't supposed to be good that are good and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see what happens with them.
And I don't think Giddy's performance. I think that's sustainable because he kind of ended the year on that kind of run as
Okay.
well. You know what I mean? So I think he found his own.
Yeah. And East Blue Juice says, especially when Kobe comes back, and they are missing one of their leading scorers right now too. So we'll see. We'll see. Shai Gooney said Vooch is playing well so far this year, but his interior defense is still soft, no resistance.
He is who he is.
Right, man. Right. D Cooler said, I love Giddy, but I think he's gonna hurt himself fighting to compete. What else can he do?
Mm.
He's trying to stake his claim as one of the top players in the league right now, and he's playing at that level.
And I'd rather see him play like that after his contract than guys who get the contract and then, feel like they ain't got nothing to prove.
Yeah. Right.
And he making it look like, remember You remember when Brunson signed his first contract with us?
Yep.
And then it ended up being like a steal. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That $100 million contract for him is going to end up looking like a steal. He keep it up.
For real. For real. Yeah. Shaiguni, again, said the Isaac Okoro experiment needs to be over. Have him come off the bench. His defense is anything spectacular. It's anything spectacular where he needs to be getting all of these minutes. I mean, my thing is, if it's working, it's working. Right? If it's working, just because he ain't scoring or whatever his issue is, if it makes the rotations work, if it makes the lineups work, let it rock. That's how I always feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I always feel about it like that.
And I don't think he was brought there to score.
Right. Exactly.
You know, he has a defined skill set and a job, a role.
Yeah.
Let him play his role. He'll be all right.
And if he does score, then that's bonus. You know. Sean Richardson said Okoro is worse than Josh Hart on offense.
True.
It might be true. I mean, Josh Hart isn't terrible. I don't know what you expect from Josh Hart. You know, I kind of look at it like if Josh Hart is giving you scoring is a bonus. I'm not expecting Josh Hart to give us 20 a night. You know what I mean? At all. So.
Not on this team.
Not on this team, right. He's a hustle guy. You know what I mean? Now look at this guy. Calling out Josh, formerly known as Uncle Fulio. I would question that formally. Said calling out opposing fans for overreacting after a loss, not a lost, a loss or two. Sim has some nerve. You are not slick. Who did I? What?
Oh, he's talking about the losers lounge in general,
right?
Because that's what we do it.
You talk about. He said. Well, he said after a loss or two. What am I saying? Like, I don't even know what I said. I didn't call out. Who did I call out?
I think he's referencing us actually doing the Losers Lounge show as a call out on other fan bases. But this is usually to see how they're feeling about us.
How they feel about us. How they feel about their team. You didn't hear me tell any of their fans to calm down or don't be mad. I said if it's working, they talked about Isaac Okoro. I said if it's working, what are you worried about?
And you know what? When we lose, we call out our team.
Exactly. I don't even. So Josh, please explain to me what you're trying to say because I don't think I've really called anybody out. I didn't say that their team can't do this and their team can't. All we've done is give their team props. We gave their team props.
This is their fan base calling out their team. And I like to get their perspective, you know what I mean? To see how crazy they go after a loss, just like us Knicks fans do at times.
Right. We're just getting their perspective and then commenting on what we think. I don't even know what Josh is talking about. Josh just got something to say. Shaiguni says suspicious refs, no rebounding. Knicks on fire from three because our defense looks lost. Beat.
So the refs made us hit those threes.
Right. They keep complaining about the refs. The Knicks was just hitting threes. The Knicks came out and played with renewed energy in that second Chicago game, right, Josh? Renewed energy, renewed desire, renewed heart, right, Josh? Renewed whatever. Right, Josh? Nothing else to say. Uncle Fulio try to come in here. And then he got it, then he got his backup crony, his backup singer saying 100%. His backup singer. Got Memph Bleak.
Coming of age.
Huh?
Yeah. Coming of age.
Yeah, so Josh sent out his Memph Bleak to come say something. Get out of here. JOKC said, why, curse word, don't you have your starters in down 18? And why, curse word, is Okoro playing?
They was trying to get stops.
I guess because they was trying to get stops, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe because they was trying to get stops. I tell you, not having AO out there, he really is a glue guy that helps to piece that team together, just with what he adds defensively and offensively, what he adds. He comes off the bench and, he may not be the star of the team, but he really does. When he's not there, you miss a lot. You miss a lot when he's not there because of the way that he could defend. Fat Ninja 4220 said refs are not playing right now, but we're really missing AO's scoring ability. Not worried about one loss, but the game's not over yet. Obviously, they still, thought they had a chance at that point in time. And, they made their runs because the Knicks defense isn't that great. You know what I mean? And that's something that I fear about this Knicks team, that, teams are always going to be able to come back against us. Because our team had, we haven't shown that ability to just like really lock somebody down and not allow them to score at all. We'll see. If that comes. Mark Kristen 96 said the streak is over. The start was nice. Oh, I think I did this one already. Piccolo 692 said the Bulls had a nice Saturday night in NYC. I don't think that's the reason why. Knicks were just better. Aerosol 34 said losing by 12 to the Knicks in the Garden without AO, Kobe, JP, and Collins is something to hang a hat on. At full strength, this could have been another victory. I do see Buzelis needs to find his go-to spot and not hang out on the perimeter so much. He should be a better rebounder, mid-range shooter. Hopefully, Billy will get away from the 5-out offense and into a more conventional game. Buzelis. Is he a rookie? I'm not familiar with him.
I think so. He's either a rookie or a second-year player. I know the player he's talking about. The slim dude.
That tried to catch an oop on us.
Yeah. He got some talent too.
He's talented.
Is he a rookie?
He's been in the league a year. He played with the G League Ignite, so he was a number 11 pick in the 2024 draft. Yeah, talented.
Mm-hmm.
He's talented. Josh said, "No, I'm calling out Sim and other Knicks fans for overreacting after the Knicks lose a few games. All that stuff about edge or lack thereof was completely premature. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It's typical Knicks fans hyperbole, and it's not hyperbole. I mean, you heard it on the telecast. Them saying they came with edge tonight. They came with energy tonight. I wasn't the only one saying it. They said it on the telecast. Come on, Josh. You seen it. And they knew it. They knew it. That's the reason why you seen them change. That's the reason why you seen them come with more energy. Because they knew they didn't come with it. So yeah, I said what I saw. And I'll continue to say it if I see it. That's that. That's that. Calling out a Bulls fan for the same thing is hypocrisy. We didn't call out anybody's fans. We're just
This is what they are saying.
Right. We're not calling them out. What are you talking about? We're not saying you shouldn't say that. We're talking about what they feel about their team, Josh. Sorry, Josh has his own way of thinking. He has his own way of thinking. Kev Berg said, I agree, Sim. It's annoying to watch us give up open threes and wide open lane. Oh, my goodness. Right. The wide open lane is even worse for me. You know what I'm saying? Just like open layups at the basket, open dunks at the basket.
No resistance.
No resistance. I can't. I hate that. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why I was happy when Deuce put the dude on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
The no layup rule. Remember that?
Right. Exactly. No layup rules. The coolest 718 said Mike Brown calling them out for letting guys blow right by them is why they played better the second game. Yeah. Right.
And I'm really starting to like Mike Brown. Because I don't mind you calling out your team and calling out their players when you call yourself out too.
Right.
When you take responsibility, then you could go ahead. I don't care who you know what I mean, who you call out in what instance, because you're taking responsibility when you make mistakes or you're including yourself. He got to do better, but I got to do better too. I got to find a way to help him do better. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
And that builds team chemistry. You know what I mean? Like, when he's talking, the post-game press conference tonight, he's talking about that open door policy. Because somebody asked him, oh, well, what'd you say to Cat? You know what I mean? And he's like, I speak to everybody. You know what I mean? I spoke to Cat, but I'll speak to Josh. I'll speak to Kel.
Everybody. He did.
You know what I mean? Like, and if they gotta say something, my door is open and they could speak to me and we could discuss how they're feeling and what their thoughts are and what they think. You know what I mean? So to me, it is building something that is refreshing. And I called him out from the beginning. I didn't like when he said, you know, I didn't like the effort and let's see how they bounce back. But he cleaned that right up. You know what I mean? Next press conference, he started talking about the things he could have done better.
And that could come from an open door policy. We're gonna say, hey, coach, like you putting us out there, but here's some things we see. You know what I mean? Yeah, no doubt. Got a long season to go, but right now we are 4-3 on the season.
Back over 500.
Right, back over 500, 4-3 on the season. We got a tough game coming up on Wednesday.
Next 5 games at the Garden.
So, it's a long ways to go. Long ways to go. And yeah, Josh, I still want to see them play with energy. And I want that to be the constant, not only because we scored the basketball. I want the energy to be the reason why we scored the basketball. Dig? Yeah. But anyway, folks, it's almost 1:30. I'm ready to get some sleep. Got a double losers lounge in. triple one with Josh showing up on the show. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for jumping in. Josh, we appreciate you too. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next time. We're up out of here. Wish me luck on my game on Thursday. Hopefully I don't come back with any injuries and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, peace.
Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we losing is what